I'm James Michael Angelo. I'm a comic and a real estate agent. I'll make you laugh on stage and make you money in the market. This is What's Your Deal? Today I sit down with famed Village Voice columnist Michael Musto and iconic New York broker Vickey Barron. First of all, thank you. I really appreciate you being here. When I got to New York 23 years ago as an aspiring actor and writer and full-time bartender, by the way, at Bardot, where Joey Arias and Raven O were giving me life advice, which clearly got me pretty far. I had 3 gay writers who I really aspired to be, and it was you and David Sedaris and Gustin Burroughs. So thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm definitely the best of those.
That's why I put you #1.
Thank you.
You were in the #1 slot. I'm sure you've been invited to or crashed a party in over the years a celebrity home.
Well, I've done interviews in celebrities' homes, which are some of the best interviews you've done, because I interviewed Cher in 1980 in her Aspen home. I'm sure she has a million homes. That was just one of them.
Wow.
I had to fly to Denver and then take a small plane like the size of a car to Aspen. I was terrified. And I get there, and Cher at the time was the lead singer of a rock group called Black Rose. Her career was totally in remission. This was after the Cher show was off. This is before she became an Oscar-winning movie star, and her music career was revived in the 80s. This was a total dead end in her career, so that's why she talked to me and invited me to her house. And her house was very Aspen. It was warm and cozy and, you know, like rugs on the wall and things like that, lots of potlatch. She was literally making out with her boyfriend on the bed while I was sitting there in the other room. I swear to you, her boyfriend was Les Dudek. He was the guitarist for the band. And I thought that was great. She was so real that she was just being Cher in front of me. And then I said, well, Cher, after the interview, I was like, I have to go back, you know, and take that small plane again. I'm terrified. And she said, I do it all the time. It's nothing. I will drive you to the airport. And Cher drove me in her open-air Jeep to the Aspen airport. And this was before selfies, so I have no proof. You're just going to have to believe me.
I would not doubt you in the least. And it sounds like Cher from every other person I've spoken to who have met her. But don't you consider yourself a celebrity? I consider you a celebrity.
No.
Come on, Michael. Really?
I would like D-list or, you know.
I think you're a little higher than D-list.
Well, you know, people say iconic. I'd rather have a job. But fortunately, I do have a job.
You do have a job.
But I think when I lose my job, people are still going to say iconic, and I'm going to be like, I'd rather have a job. But whatever people call me, I don't fit in. I grew up just the kid in the corner when they were picking teams, like for baseball. It wasn't even like I was the last one. They would pick everyone and then go away, and I'd be like, wait a minute. Okay, we'll take you. That's how much of an outcast I am.
And yet, everybody really identifies with your voice and what's out there.
That's cool. That's cool.
I mean, I would get the Village Voice every single week when it came out, and I identify with your column. And other people identify with your column.
Cool. If I give a voice to people, that's wonderful. And that's why I always tell people, come out. We have to show the kids out there they have a future.
Well, I'll say that's when I moved to New York, and I would go home to my very cramped 1-bedroom railroad with the stripper and the actress and the DJ, and I would read your column where I come home for a club. Then that's how I would create the space that I really felt took care of me.
Did you all share the Con Ed bill?
We
How do we split this 4 ways?
The DJ played more, okay? He paid more because he was always well off his equipment.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, last question. What is the favorite part of your apartment when you walk through the door?
I just bought a $5 throw rug at a value store. And the great thing is it works on the wall as a Cher Aspen kind of thing. Or on the floor, or I might actually regift it after I clean it.
That is a really good idea.
Or I might not even clean it.
Depending on who you give it to. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything you've done for gay New Yorkers, for me as an up-and-coming gay New Yorker when I got here. So.
Oh, I did good. Look at you. You're doing great.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
That's all thanks to me.
That's all thanks to you. Thank you, Michael. So, well, thank you for being here. And
You're
thank
welcome.
you for doing this. Thank you for lending us this amazing apartment in Walker Tower, which is your baby as far as real estate goes, one of. But tell me a little bit about the building, the history of it, and how you became synonymous with Walker Tower.
Well, thank you for allowing me to have you in here, because anytime I come into Walker Tower, brokers say, Vickey, I'm not sure if you're more enthusiastic now or 5 years ago. And that's a big compliment. Huge. And it's because I really do love the architecture. It was built for New York Telephone Company, and Ralph Walker, little did he know we were going to make him famous again. But he was an architect that built these telephone companies, and he really respected, in my opinion, the architecture and the lay of the land as far as the way the building is positioned, and he was one of the instrumental individuals for the setback law in 1916, where you had the setbacks of all the buildings throughout the city for light and air. Anyway, so I got an interview with the developers, and I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, and I heard that one of the developers was going to grill me with numbers. And I go, okay, well, I don't have my numbers really prepared, but I'm going anyway. And then in the interview, they said, why should we hire you? And I said, well, first of all, I love the building. I understand a lot of construction and what's happening with the building. I think it's going to be a winner. But in addition to that, I'm a little creative, and I think a little differently, and I think that'll come in handy. And they said, well, give us an example of something you do that's not the norm. And I don't know why I said this. Maybe I was nervous, but I said, well, I just wrote a real estate rap song. Would you like to hear it? And they said yes. So I sang my real estate rap song.
Come on. You rapped for the developers?
I rapped for the developers.
And you got the job.
And I got the job.
I think that should be put out to every training session with every new agent who comes into the business.
And then they never asked me about numbers. And I'm like, okay, perfect. It's a match.
And see, that's, I mean, that's why I look up to you and other brokers look up to you, not only for your knowledge of the industry, but you really do know construction.
Yeah,
and how important it is to know construction. And as a former interior designer, that really lends itself, to my career, my early career now. And I watch other really successful brokers and how that's vital, not just for new construction, like you said, for
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Full disclosure, I'm really passionate about Ralph Walker and the architecture and the building, but I know what went on behind these walls, like the humidification and the white oak solid wood real floors that are in the chevron pattern, the small bone kitchen cabinetry with the Macassar finish, all of that Nan's hardware throughout. A lot of developers will not spend the money in those details. And you'll have a double wide living room. You'll have one of the only apartments in the building with a separate dining room. You'll have an eat-in kitchen. You'll have separate 2 bedrooms. It's 4 bedrooms. So you have 2 on this floor, 2 upstairs, plus that nice landing, 2 laundry rooms, 3 means of egress, 2 terraces, 3 exposures. Now we're talking. We're just listing this, and it'll come on the market for the high 20s, just under 30 million. And I think it'll do well.
I want to ask you one more thing.
Yes.
What elements of a property do you see buyers gravitate towards the moment they walk into an apartment?
So in my opinion, like in this building, for an example, people respond to volume. We have unbelievable views. You could never build this tall today, so this was before you had the limitations of the height. When you walk in that front door, most people here don't want bedroom count, they want volume. So they want the square footage, but they don't need, look, you could carve probably another 6 bedrooms in here, but that's not the end user for this apartment. And attention to detail. They want to see the quality.
Well, thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
Not only just for this property, everything you've passed on to me since I've met you in the industry. And we both know this isn't your first time on the show.
Well, you are adorable. First of all, no, you are. You know why I gravitated towards you? Because you're real, you're creative, you're smart, and it's like playing tennis. When I meet people, like the tennis ball, some people you throw the ball and it like just hits the wall. They can't bounce back. And it's that quick, probably because of your background, you just connect and get it, and that's fun.
Well, I love people. I love New York. I love space.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you have that in common with your colleagues and people that you can gel with every single day, there's magic.
It's magic.
It's magic.
So much fun. Well, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.